Welcome to colour television.
If you were to hear about a skit show which uses comedy to discuss issues affecting Aboriginal Australians, first aired in prime time on the ABC, and is starring and created by Indigenous Australians, when would you have thought it came out? In the past few years? The 2000s? Maybe even the 90s? Well, despite its seemingly modern concept and creation, Basically Black aired almost half a century ago in 1973. Despite its age, the topics the show covers are often scarily relevant to current-day Australia, giving us a stark reminder on how little things have changed, with a song about Indigenous youth in custody and a skit about police brutality being two of the most striking examples. As the show discusses topics which are even confronting for a modern audience, it raises the question on how they were able to get the show on prime time on the national broadcaster in 1973. The answer is their chosen medium, skit comedy.
Good morning. I am a human being. Cut!
Now listen, you guys. These are proud and sensitive, okay?
Okay.
They've had a pretty rough time, but we're going to start treating them as human beings, right?
Right.
Right.
Cue the bong.
Comedy takes away a lot of the expectations and stress, which is often associated with uncomfortable topics. This allows the creators of the show to raise these difficult issues, such as racism, with their white audience in a format which they are more comfortable and one that comes with a more forgiving atmosphere. This makes the topics discussed less scary to the audience, making it more likely that they will not only watch, but also have a more favourable opinion of the viewpoint portrayed in the skits. The opening scene is a perfect example of this.
Even after 200 years, you never get used to it.
It uses things that would be familiar and relatable to the white audience, such as the use of waltzing Matilda and a stereotypical portrayal of an Indigenous person, to assure the audience doesn't feel too out of their depth, as well as to assist the punchline. While the joke does land on the white people, and by extension the audience, they do it in a way which allows for a degree of separation, so the white audience isn't too turned off by the first joke. This idea of First Nations people taking colonial symbols and twisting them to serve their own means can be seen in many pieces of art and media. I think that Lisa Bellaire's poem From Dreaming in Urban Areas does a very similar thing. I wrote about this, noting the power that changing the spelling of different places such as Melbourne Uni and Koori College have in communicating her message around the unacknowledged destruction caused by colonisation. With something similar happening in this skit, but instead using white Australian stereotypes. So what's the effect? When Garen Steele discussed the customary laws of land, he talked about the importance of respecting and valuing differences, and they were not all that different, and we all have something in common that we're trying to achieve. It is this notion that underpins the importance of what Basically Black is doing. Through these skits, they help humanise and demystify Indigenous people and their culture to their sheltered 1970s audience. Comedy plays an important role in doing this due to its domineering role in Australian culture. It has the power to break down barriers and open people up to others who they wouldn't have before, as it gives them something fun and easy to relate on, while also giving a megaphone for important issues to be discussed.
You know what? In the long run, I reckon we'd be better off with a more restrictive immigration policy.